Welcome back to Open Park and GP Racing Dream. The next step, we have the amazing Aprilia RRB 450 GPs. Superb race action from them throughout the season. And then we see James Folkard, number 43, pulling up on pole position. Slightly surprising, Crit Girl there. Alongside him, 35, our earlier race winner. Yes, it's Dixie himself, Jake Dixon. Then 54 is Sam Cox. And completing that front row of the grid, next to Sam is number 3, Michael Clifford. Afternoon, Sam, yes, a rather awful, wet and grim afternoon here, but it's a lovely circuit at Oulton Park in Cheshire. On the second row of the grid, 100 is Connor Tagg, 94 Jamie Thackeray, 99 Jordan Hole, and 6 Reese Rothwell. But look at that, Steve, all a bit gloom and doom. We can just about see him through the misty rain on the run down to Old Hall for the first time.
Yes, if James Folkard, number 43, wins this race, he could well take the title, and it's a good start from the championship leader. He gets up ahead of Sam Cox. Jake Dixon just got a little bit swallowed up there, but I believe he's gone through into third position. He's just made up a place, actually got past Sam Cox. Connor Tagg in fourth, up ahead of David Allingham.
Yes, better start this time for Connor. He didn't get away particularly well in the first race. He really, really seriously needs to win this one, doesn't he, Steve?
Yes, if he wants to keep the championship alive, he must get double points, 50 of them here in this race, and he needs to get up with them straight away, because we've seen so many times before Folkard has this habit of getting away early on, and Jake Dixon looks as though he wants to follow. You cannot discount Sam Cox. He's had a fantastic last couple of rounds. He came from the back of the grid at Brands Hatch to finish in the top 5. Reese Rothwell also doing very well out there on the Aprilia 450 here. We've had a fresh downpour, as I mentioned, and you can see there the conditions considerably worse than they were in race 1.
Well, absolutely awful conditions, really, but well, double points, and it's double jeopardy, because of course if double points are up for grabs and you're the one who makes a mistake and you have a DNF, then it's double the pain, really. So first job, everyone's got to stay on board. Second job, we've got to get as near the front as possible. James Folkard, you might say, maybe he'll ride a bit conservatively. You could say the same with Jake Dixon. They're up the top of the championship points at the moment, and neither of them can afford to lose out to the other. But these youngsters, Steve, they're not inclined to be riding necessarily conservatively or sensibly, are they?
No, not at all. It's almost a shame that you can't crown all of them champion, because they've all had a part to play in this year's championship. I believe that, well, James Folkard's got 10 wins to his name this year, Jake Dixon 9, Connor Tagg 9. It just goes to show you how close this championship has been all year long. And of course, Tagg, last year's runner-up. Could he be the bridesmaid once again? That would certainly be painful.
Yeah, he's had a great season, Connor, but it's at the end of the day, you do want your name on those trophies, and at the moment, James Folkard, with a lot of his family and of course his support here as well, sponsored by local solicitors. In fact, they're based up around Liverpool, aren't they?
Yeah, Minardi Pavlo have been loyal supporters to James all season long, and they're out here in force at Oulton Park. They're showing about the weather. There's David Allingham from Northern Ireland, the young super teen rider that is clearly looking to make his way into the 450 championship for next year and doing very well. And Jake Dixon's up alongside James Folkard as they make their way into his. Is he going to make it stick? Oh, he thinks better of it.
Look at that track surface. Look at the reflection. You can just see how treacherous that is. And, well, the track itself, Steve, the grip is there. Where it isn't, those white lines at the edge of the circuit, and of course the red and white curbing. That, you are history if you touch those. They have to be so careful, don't they?
Yeah, you don't want to be going anywhere near the white lines or the curves, because you will be in the dirt. And they make their way down into Lodge Corner. Jake Dixon just taking some rather snaky lines, looking to try and get the drive out of the corners to perhaps get himself past Folkard. He'll be aware that with double points on offer, the slightest mistake can really cost you, and it would certainly cost him the championship. Sam Cox, what a ride from young Sam, a rider that also came from the Super Teens and Thundersport 500s last year, and he's doing very well to keep up the pace there. There's Strettle.
Yes, Tom Strettle, just working his way through the gloom down the avenue towards Cascades. there. Jordan Hull coming through the exit of Old Hall Corner and going down that same part of the course. The avenue used to be an avenue, actually. Trees either side of the track there. And either side almost to Jake Dixon. Oh, huge! Get off there, and he's back on, and he twitches again, and he stays on. Oh, Dixie nearly threw it all away, but he's still on board, and Sam Cox is straight on him. Folkard then leads. Dixon in second, Cox in third. Jake Dixon is still on board that bike. How has that happened, Steve?
Well, it's buckaroo, isn't it, from Jake Dixon? He is right on the edge. He's pushing the Bridgestone tyres here, the wets, to the absolute limit to try and keep up with James Folkard and eventually pass him. I would imagine he'll have been told that if Folkard wins this race, it's pretty much championship over. Number 99 there is Jordan Hull, who's been doing so well, and it's actually his 17th birthday today, so happy birthday to Jordan.
Yeah, he's chasing after Will Hodgson. Will, number 14, just ahead of him, but here, up the front, the leaders, Folkard, Dixon and Cox, and in these conditions, Steve, nobody's getting away with anything. They're constantly teetering back up again. I reckon there must be a dose of super glue on the seat there of Jake Dixon's machine. How he didn't come separated from it, I'll never know. Clifford, Michael Clifford there, number 3. Through once again the murk at Lodge Corner. Oh, Dixie popping out from behind James Folkard there. Now then, he's carrying a lot of speed down, and Folkard immediately is looking at his rear wheel, but that's going through Cascades and the long left-hander around Island Bend before they get to the extreme right-hander, and yellow flags greeting them there at Shell Oil's hairpin. We can see the marshals just pushing somebody's machine to the side, so someone's gone AWOL, but that was right in front of the leaders, and Dixie looks over his shoulder straight into the eyes of James Folkard.
Yeah, well, considering Jake's just passed James, I'm not sure what he was expecting to find when he looked over his shoulder there. James Folkard, interestingly, looked over his shoulder because I think he was looking out for the number 100 machine of Connor Tagg, and the fact that he's seen number 54, Sam Cox, there will certainly ease the pressure somewhat. He knows that he only needs to pass Jake Dixon if he really has to, but these riders, they just don't stop racing. Folkard, if he was to throw it down the road here, would be a disaster for his championship.
Well, the other thing is, of course, Steve, in these weather conditions, when they get to the start-finish line, they have almost no time to read a pit board. And here at Oulton Park, they're coming out of the left-hander at the end of Deers Leap, and so they're almost pitched across the wrong side of the machine. We'll see that in a moment, to read a pit board. So they will have absolutely no idea about what's going on behind them. They're just concentrating on this real tussle up the front. Dixon out the front, then Folkard, then Sam Cox, closer than he has been for some time. Last lap flag is out into Old Hall. Yeah, you've got no time to be looking at pit boards as you come across the start-finish line here at Oulton Park, and Folkard will just be concentrating on the job ahead. Sam Cox could have a say in this as we make our way down. I can tell you Connor Tagg is in 4th position ahead of David Allingham, and that's not enough for Connor. That might actually mean that he could not win the championship as we go to the last round at Mallory Park in a couple of weeks, but it's going to be between these three. There is that Connor? Yes, it is, just ahead of David Allingham in 4th, and well, he needs to stay ahead of David. Yeah, he's a little bit too far back, isn't he? It's a question of when 3 becomes 2 now, and I think we're looking at them at the front. Jake Dixon and James Folkard become the 2 that are in the frame for this 2011 Aprilia RRV 450 Championship, but in the mix there, Sam Cox still wants to get his nose in. They've got some back markers to play with, and look at those conditions there. Jake Dixon having to pick. Ooh, good choice, but my goodness me, that's close when you've got half a lap to go.
That would have certainly woken up Luigi Lavecchia, who is the back marker in question. But it's brilliant riding from Jake Dixon. You know, he came into this round knowing that he had to win both races to stay in the championship hunt, and he's done just that. There's Tom Strettel, number 147, going through the very slippery and, oh, it looks like ice, doesn't it, through Hizzy chicane. But if Folkard sits in 2nd position, it will still go to the final round at Mallory Park, and Dixon looks like he's secured this one.
Yeah, down into Lodge. Folkard still there. Sam Cox, excellent ride from Sam. He is in 3rd place. But it is the last time. Down and up out of Deer Leap and over the top of the checker flag. And yes, now Dixie can celebrate. That was the double win that he desperately needed. Double points, double win. He now is right in the frame. Jake Dixon Wins from James Folkard, Sam Cox third, Connor Tagg fourth, Dave Dallingham fifth, then Reece Rothwell, Tom Streffel, Will Hodgson, Jordan Hull and Michael Clifford. And there we see on the podium the winner, Jake Dixon in the middle, flanked by James Folkard second and Sam Cox in third. And in the championship standings, well, James Folkard still heads it handsomely, but still enough in it. It will go down to Mallory Park in a fortnight's time. Jake Dixon second, Connor Tagg in third.
Double winner here today, Jake Dixon. Well, the rain's come down. Alton Park has been pretty favourable for you. You've done everything you can.
Yeah, I've done everything I can, and we're known as a weather specialist, but I've got to say I can ride in the dry as well, so I don't really like it when people call me a wet weather specialist, but it's the way it goes. You're never going to stop that, are you? But I'm happy with it, so.
Yeah, well, we all know you're quick in the dry. You've certainly got enough wins in the dry to back that up, as well as the wet weathers. But some people don't just go quite as quickly as you in the wet, so fair play. And 100 points can't be bad.
Yeah, 100 points, I'm over the moon with it. There's nothing else I can really say, but I'd just like to say well done to Sam. He's rode so well this weekend. I respect him as a rider. He's such a nice boy, and so's James. So I respect both of them and everyone in here. So just like to say thanks to everyone.
That's it from GP Racing Dream, the next step. From myself, Robin Murphy, and from Steve Day, we'll be back with you in a couple of weeks' time with all the action from Mallory Park, the finals.